What's up, guys? It's Matthew.
What's up, guys? It's Ryan.
Hey guys, it's Jack.
And today we're going to be showing you guys math in the golf world. Our project concerns 3 different topics. We have angles concerning our clubs and their faces. We're going to talk about the swing and how it's like a pendulum. And then we're going to actually take a look at a golf ball and all its little dimples and how physics plays into that.
Let's get swinging.
Our first topic is going to be talking about angles and how the club face are certain angles. The club faces are going to be certain angles to get a different amount of loft on your ball. So basically every club is going to have an acute angle, and the higher the acute angle, the more loft you're going to have. So what that means is you're going to get under the ball more and you're going to pop it up. So what that means is when you pop it up, you're not going to get as much distance. So for my first club, I'm going to be using a 56-degree lob wedge. So as I was talking about loft earlier, that loft is going to be the angle created with the ball. So as you can see, it's a really steep angle. So this should pop up and not go as far because it's going to have more loft because it's a higher acute angle. So here we go. As you guys notice, it popped up really high and it didn't really go that far because, the loft is greater. So now I'm going to be using a pitching wedge, and this one, it's still a wedge like the lob wedge, but it has a 48-degree angle, so it's going to get a little more farther and it's not going to have as much loft. So right here you can see the angle. So as you can see, got out there a little bit farther than the pitching wedge because, like I said, it's not going to have as much loft because the angle is lower. All right, the last club we're going to look at is the hybrid. So it's got a 12-degree angle, which means it's not going to have loft. So this should fly in the air, but its arc is not going to be as steep. It's going to fly over a longer distance. Like I said, the ball's going to get up there, but its arc isn't as steep and it's going to travel farther. When you're out on the golf course, just don't forget the loft and the different angles of your clubs, because depending on the distance, you're going to want to pick a specialized club for that distance. So if you're going a shorter distance, you're going to want something with higher loft, so a higher acute angle. If you want something farther, you're going to want something with less loft.
Hey everybody, it's Jack. And today for the second part of our project, I'm going to be discussing the concept of a pendulum. So what a pendulum is essentially, it's a weight that's suspended from a pivot so that it can swing freely back and forth. In this picture, the point of suspension indicated by the arrow, it's the pivot from which the weight swings from. And then the bottom arrows, those indicate the trajectory or the path that the weight takes when it swings back and forth. This is a more complex image of a pendulum. This includes the equilibrium position, or otherwise known as the starting point for which the weight starts at. And then again, the trajectory is the path that the weight takes when it swings back and forth. Now, I'm going to show you guys how the pendulum plays a really big role within golf.
Within the golf swing, there's 2 pendulums present. The first pendulum, it rests at the arms and the shoulders. So when the arms swing back and forth, the arms are hinging from the shoulders, allowing for that motion. And the second pendulum, it's resting at his wrists and the club itself. So when he's rotating, the club is also rotating, that hinges from his wrists. And where Matthew's club is at right now, it's called the point of equilibrium. And when Matthew lifts up the club with no torque and drops it, the club just goes back to the point of equilibrium with barely any kinetic energy. But when Matthew brings up the club and applies torque, the club goes past the point of equilibrium with much more kinetic energy, allowing for the ball to go much farther.
What's up, guys? It's Ryan, and I'm going to be telling you about a golf ball and the physics around the ball. On a golf ball, there are little circles called dimples that help with the aerodynamics of the ball to allow it to go further when it is hit. Back when golf was first introduced, they played with golf balls that were smooth all around. But as they kept hitting the golf balls, they noticed that the worn out golf balls went further. So, they then added the dimples to the golf balls after researchers saw that when the golf balls were smooth, they created more airflow, which led to the ball slowing down quicker because there was nothing to hold the air around the ball to keep pushing it further. What the dimples do is as the ball is flying through the air, the airflow is increasing and the drag is increasing, while the downward pressure on the ball is decreasing, causing lift, which allows the ball to go higher and further. While this is happening, there is also turbulence in the ball as the air goes in and out of each dimple, so the airflow remains attached to the ball to keep pushing it. With all of this, it was determined that the golf balls with the dimples will go twice as far as golf balls without dimples.